Good, happy Saturday morning, January 18, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. Happy Saturday, everyone. Grab your cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy some Good Morning, New Hampshire. Rise and shine, everyone. Let's get this Saturday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire started. We're going to begin with your local news first. Dangerously cold weather moves into Granite State. Residents urged to limit time outside for themselves and pets. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
We work closely, outreach team, with the City of Manchester, Manchester Fire, and the Health Department, and other outreach teams in the city to go out and do what we call fatality prevention. So that started 24 hours ago.
With temperatures in the single digits Friday night, New Horizons in Manchester is trying to bring people inside and is prepared for a full house.
Everybody is checking in early because it's really cold out there. So I think that we're going to likely hit capacity this evening. Our numbers are starting to already peak.
Once the shelter fills their 108 beds, those in need are referred to warming stations where staff are ready for large numbers.
They work really hard to make sure that we provide the best services that we can. And then our warming station does a great job with the volunteers to be prepared for that as well. So we're ready. We always are ready for the folks that need the services and the shelter.
If outside for long periods of time, doctors say covering up your skin as much as possible is important.
It can ultimately freeze. The first thing you get is that burning sensation, chilblains, where your face will get red and really start to sting.
And if you experience those frostbite symptoms, use warm water or moderate heat to warm up.
What you don't want to do is rub vigorously. If you're rubbing vigorously and you've actually got injury, frostbite, that can cause damage to the tissue and you won't even know it because you won't feel it.
And New Horizons does go out with city agencies to try to convince those who want to stay outside to go ahead and come inside, and at the very least, just let them know what their options are. In Manchester, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your 2020 New Hampshire candidate tracker for today. We have a bunch of candidates in New Hampshire today. And here is that candidate tracker for all of you for today. The first candidate we're talking about, Michael Bennett. He has one event today in New Hampshire, Concord Immigration Conversation at Civax Strategy Group in Concord, New Hampshire at 3 p.m. Chelsea Gabbard, she has one event today in New Hampshire, Town Hall at New Hampshire Hills Athletic Club in Milford, New Hampshire at 4:30 p.m. Bernie Sanders has two events today in New Hampshire. His first event, Town Hall at Exeter High School in Exeter, New Hampshire at 3:30 p.m. And his second event, rally at McLaughlin Middle School in Manchester, New Hampshire at 6 p.m. And also in New Hampshire today, Bill Weld. He has one event today in New Hampshire. 2020 New Hampshire Women's Rally March on the Polls at the New Hampshire State House in Concord, New Hampshire at 12 p.m. Those are all the candidates in New Hampshire today. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. Alleged highway sniper arrested in North Carolina. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
The alleged highway shooter arrested in North Carolina tonight.
accused of shooting at least 20 cars over 2 days. Tonight here, the images of shattered windows, and authorities now say the shooter is just 14. Here's Victor Akendo.
This car window shattered by a suspected highway sniper.
It was still just mind-blowing and still shocking to say something like that.
It all happened along US 264 in North Carolina this week. Authorities say at least 20 passing cars were shot at and damaged with a high-powered pellet rifle. The Wilson County Sheriff says they started receiving calls yesterday morning. Drivers reporting bullets blasting through their windows. Others saying the sides of their cars had been damaged. Hugh Scott is a principal at a local school. He was on his way to a school sporting event when his car got hit.
I thought this was an isolated incident. At the time, finding out that more vehicles had been shot, I felt that I needed to, just make people aware that this isn't a hoax.
Tonight, deputies arresting a 14-year-old boy, releasing these images of a nest made out of tree branches. That's where officials believe the teen hid and fired shots at passing cars.
I am truly blessed, and I'm very grateful that this wasn't a greater or more serious incident.
Deputies set up patrols and undercover surveillance. They found ammunition near that apparent nest, and that's what led them to their 14-year-old suspect who lives in that area. Tonight, he is being charged as a juvenile, but thankfully, David, no one was hurt.
Victor, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're gonna switch gears now. Let's go into weather. Your weather for today, tracking a snowy Saturday night. With more on that, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scarippa with a full weather forecast video.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
Winter weather advisors are posted for the Granite State for later this afternoon, tonight, and first thing tomorrow morning. You will notice after a very cold start today, the clouds will only increase and thicken as the light snow pushes in from the west. This will be battling some dry air initially, so anything we see pre-5 o'clock this afternoon should be on the fairly light side, and we're not expecting any slippery travel until sometime this evening. So in general, this afternoon, increase in clouds after a very cold start. We're in the teens in the North Country to mid-20s in southern areas and holding there as that system moves through later on this evening. So temperatures do climb eventually. This will be with a light southerly breeze into the afternoon. There's the first snowflakes for western areas after 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. As I mentioned, anything that we see pre-5 o'clock should be on the very light side, and you should be okay to travel at least through 6 o'clock this evening. But as that snow continues to build in tonight, snowfall rates after 8 or 9 o'clock this evening could be over an inch per hour. This should be a light, fluffy snow that piles up quickly as we go from the mid-evening through the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. You will notice for southern New Hampshire, it winds down or even changes to a wintry mix before wrapping up, while the light snow will continue in the North Country early tomorrow morning, and then some lingering snow showers for the White Mountains and Great Northwoods otherwise. Temperatures above the freezing mark tomorrow afternoon with partial sunshine, a chance to clean up from that light fluffy snow, which may eventually get matted down overnight with a little bit of a mix before wrapping up in southern New Hampshire. Then the winds pick up later tomorrow afternoon, and that brings in some much colder air. Brisk day for us Monday with high temperatures in the teens and 20s, teens to near 20 with full sunshine Tuesday. Next week looks to be fairly quiet, as you'll notice as we pan through Futurecast here through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. While it will be a very cold start to the week, temperatures will moderate by the end of the week. Next system probably doesn't arrive until about a week from today. Your forecast today, teens and 20s, clouds thickening with a chilly afternoon, and some light snow developing, let's say mid to late afternoon for some western areas as a very light version of what's to come during the evening. Later on tonight, snowfall heavy at times. We could see snowfall rates over an inch per hour, expecting a general light and fluffy snow out of this system, while it could get matted down a bit in southern New Hampshire early tomorrow morning as it wraps up as either a wintry mix or with some milder temperatures. There's a look at the milder temperatures for tomorrow. 28 to 40 from north to south. That will be with partial sunshine, some lingering light snow in the north country in the morning, tapering off to some snow showers in the afternoon. A general snowfall of 4 to 8 inches of accumulation. Again, a very light, fluffy snow, which could pile up to a stray 9 or 10 inch amount just due to where the heavier snow band's set up. If we're going to see more than 10 inches of accumulation, I suspect the best chance of that will be from the White Mountains through the Mount Washington Valley and areas north and east of the Lakes region. A lot of that winding down tomorrow morning there with some lingering lighter snow showers in the afternoon. As I mentioned, another burst of colder air coming in for the first half of next week with moderating temperatures by the end of the week.
Okay, and there you go. There you go on that weather video from meteorologist Kevin Scriba. Thank you, Kevin Scriba, for the weather video. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Live. Let's take a look at your event calendar for New Hampshire and the surrounding areas near New Hampshire, Boston, and Maine. The first event we're talking about, Genealogically Club meeting, 10 o'clock a.m. at the Griffin Free Public Library. Arts and Bloom, 10 o'clock a.m., Legacy of New Hampshire Craftsmen's Headquarters. Spinning Gold, sharpening your family research into compelling stories, 10 o'clock a.m. at the Monadnock Center for History and Culture. Snowshoe Rangers at the Wentworth House, 10 o'clock a.m. at the Colonial Hall, Wentworth House. Winterbird Walk, 10 o'clock a.m. at Massapequa Audubon Center. Tinkering with Toys, Build a Truck, 11 o'clock a.m. at the Discovery Museum. Move for the Movement, 12 p.m. at J. Everett Collins Center for the Performing Arts. And those are all the events on the event calendar for this morning and afternoon. Viewer's Choice 2020 Best Nachos. Let's take a look at that video right now. Let's see where the best nachos are in New Hampshire. Who loves nachos? I love nachos. Yummy, yummy. A good food to eat watching a football game or just have an appetizer.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
Okay, and there you go. Best nachos in New Hampshire. Yum, yum, yum. Let's eat some nachos, everyone, right now. Professional Bull Riders comes to Manchester. Event is first of its kind for the city at SNHU Arena. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jessica Moran.
The Cadillac Upgrade Program is going on now at Holloway Cadillac. Enjoy this month's lease and finance.
Yes, you have that right. This is the first time in professional bull riders history that they will be coming to Manchester. And this afternoon, crews have been working all afternoon, really, to put down 750 tons of dirt inside SNHU Arena. This is one of 30 stops the Professional Bull Riders Tour will make. Tomorrow, 35 of the best riders in the world will be here trying to hold on to a nearly 2,000-pound animal for 8 seconds. Riders come from as far as Brazil, Australia, Mexico, and Canada. Of course, professional bull riding is a family-friendly event.
Kids usually love rodeo, and most adults are skeptical about it when they don't hear and they don't know about it growing up. But then when they come and they watch it, it's always one of them things they look forward to going and seeing again when it comes back to town.
And tickets are still available. Tomorrow night's event starts at 6:45, Sundays at 1:45. In Manchester, Jessica Marin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go. Looks like a fun event to see. Cool. And now let's switch gears and go to some lifestyle and healthy tips. New study finds women's blood pressure rises higher and faster than men's. Let's take a look at that video from Good Morning America.
Now to our GMA cover story. A new study finds that women's blood pressure, have you all heard about this? Women's blood pressure rises higher and faster than men's high blood pressure, generates, heart disease and things like that. So we want to keep that in mind. So Dr. Jen Ashton, you're going to help us with this.
Good morning, Robin.
So what are we finding here?
This is really about gender-specific medical research. This study is out in JAMA Cardiology. It was done by researchers at Harvard and the Barbara Streisand Women's Heart Center at Cedars-Sinai, and they compared not women to men in terms of blood pressure pathways and trajectories, women to women, men to men. And as you said, what they found over time, and they had 43 years of follow-up, is that women's blood pressure started to go up at a younger age, and it went up faster and higher than men's, really suggesting here that we are not dealing with the same disease entity when you talk about vascular disease, which, as you know, increases the risk of heart attack and stroke.
So what's the theory behind this?
There are a lot of theories, and it's not conclusively known why this happens to women, but some of them include there's hormonal influences at play in women. There can be genetic or chromosomal factors, the way women and men process or live life, and environmental differences can be at play. And then size is really important. The average woman is smaller, not just in her body size, but her organs are smaller and the blood vessels are smaller. So really, again, lending more weight to the fact that when you say heart disease as the #1 killer, it is actually in many ways a different disease in women than it is in men.
All right, so what can we do? What can we do to help
I think
ourselves?
this is the most important thing when you talk about heart disease, because 80% is preventable. #1,
80%?
Yes,
Okay.
which is the good news here.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Know your OBGYN risk factors. This means pregnancy complications or things like PCOS, which can increase the risk. When we say know your numbers, Robin, that means know your blood pressure, your cholesterol. Gender-specific research is critically important. We need to study heart disease and other diseases specifically in women. This isn't like just study them in everyone. They can behave differently. And then again, we have these foods here. People know about reducing sodium intake in our foods, but increasing potassium intake in our foods can make a big difference in blood pressure control as well. So some of these things are all good options.
What's this?
Red wine in moderation.
Okay. Well, hey there, Jim.
Okay, there you go. Good tips there. And we're gonna switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news, Jonas Brothers, What a Man Gotta Do. All the references to an iconic rom-com. Let's take a look at that video from Entertainment Tonight.
The J Sisters are back.
This is overwhelming.
On Thursday, the Jonas Brothers dropped their new single and music video for What a Man Gotta Do, recreating some classic rom-com moments with the help of their real-life leading ladies. Yep, Priyanka Chopra, Sophie Turner, and Danielle Jonas all got in on the fun, and we mean fun.
You ain't trying to be wasting time on stupid people in cheap plans, I'm sure.
Nick showed off a whole lot of man-thigh, channeling his inner Tom Cruise a la Risky Business. Yeah, that scene. You know, the one where Tom is dancing around his house rocking nothing but socks, a button-down collared shirt, and shades. Not bad, Nick. He had that pantsless run and slide on lock.
If people can find something to say about Nick's body, God help us.
As for Nick's wife, Priyanka, there she is wearing a white shirt and jeans, looking at her man with those "you're totally ridiculous, but also adorable" eyes, before she took the floor in the same sexy nothing but a t-shirt and socks look. Okay, no offense, Nick, but your wife looks way hotter in this outfit. Anyway, moving it along.
What a man gotta do, what a man gotta do.
Joe and his wife Sophie worked the high school dance floor, giving us major hand jive Grease vibes.
It was meant to be that way, though I don't know why.
Joe and Sophie actually make a really believable Danny and Sandy. I mean, Joe totally nailed John Travolta's look. Pink shirt and all. And those moves! Not exactly the same, but pretty damn close. Then, of course, there's Kevin and his wifey, Danielle, who recreated an iconic scene from Say Anything. Kevin went full-blown John Cusack, standing in a beige trench coat outside Danielle's window with a boombox over his head. But when the boombox doesn't work, because let's be real, it's 2020 and boomboxes are relics, he swaps it out for his iPhone. Okay, now, here's where things get weird. At the end of the video, Joe and Kevin both rock their itty-bitty undies too. But why? So much man-thigh. Thankfully, they redeem themselves with a big dance floor finish and an epic blooper reel. Of course, this isn't the first time the J Sisters have starred in a Joe Bros music video. They went front and center for the group's comeback single, Sucker.
You're the medicine and the pain, the tattoo inside my brain, and baby, you know it's obvious.
Back when the video dropped, E.T. spoke with Anthony Mandler, who directed the Sucker music video, and he spilled some behind-the-scenes secrets.
Look, I was just happy to be part of it. Great people, and all the wives were amazing. And the whole thing was exciting. The only way we kept it a secret is that we did it very quickly. I think we shot 2 weeks ago, and they contacted me a week earlier, so the whole thing was about 3 weeks, which is for this size project and the amount of people and where we were. You know, obviously you're always worried about paparazzi and leaks and whatnot. We had none of those issues at all. I think it's a miracle that no one knew. But certainly the effect has been as big as I've ever seen in my career.
The Jonas Brothers keep raising the bar with these music videos, and I'm here for it. Of course, you can count on ET to bring you all the latest on these guys and the J Sisters, so make sure to keep it locked right here. Until next time, I'm Hallie Stevens. See you soon.
Okay, and there you go. And now let's take a look at those celebrity birthdays for today and see which celebrities are celebrating a birthday today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities that are celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, and we hope they all have a wonderful day. And that does it for this Saturday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. I hope you all enjoyed watching. Have a great rest of your Saturday. I'll see you back here on Sunday for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Goodbye, and see you all tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Bye.